Guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm here with a good old-fashioned playing with new makeup video. I'm going to do this look for you, show you some new to the market / new to me products. The majority of them I have purchased myself. There is one product that was sent to me, and I will disclose that as we go along. So if you want to see how I got this really fresh, to me, perfect for spring and summer look, then let's jump right in. So the first thing we're gonna do, I thought about trying the concealer that I'm gonna use without any kind of corrector, but y'all, don't know if I can do it. I'm just gonna put a tad, just a tad, little eensy beensy bit of corrector on just because I want to. So I'm gonna use the Chantecaille Stilo pen in 3. And when I say like an itty bitty bit, I am not gonna use as much as I normally would because I do wanna see kind of how the concealer I'm gonna use stacks up, since it does tout to kind of have a built-in corrector in it. I still wanna have a little bit of help with the darkness from this Stilo pen. So I'm just gonna put that right where my darkness is the worst. And you'll be able to tell, especially if you've seen any of my other kind of like full faces, that this isn't as much as I typically use. But I'm also using a lightweight complexion product, so it's okay if I don't go super full coverage under the eye. Said complexion product is the I was about to say Sisley, but I think it's actually pronounced Sisley Phyto Hydra Tint Beautifying Tinted Moisturizer. A subscriber turned friend messaged me and was like, have you tried any Sisley products other than the bronzer, which I love and rave about? And I was like, no. And she was like, you really need to. So I did. And I actually purchased this through a rep that works at the Miami Sisley boutique. So I will put his information down below, as well as links to, major retailers. But if you want to support him, then that'd be a great way for you to contact him and order through him. So this is their tinted moisturizer. Comes in a tub like this, a tube. It's 1.3 fluid ounces, and I got the shade number 1, which is light. I have tried this a few times already. I have tried it by itself, which I'm gonna do today. And I have tried it mixed in with my Instant Skin Drops. And I'm telling you, these two together, oh my word, love so much. But I'm gonna use it by itself today so that you can get an idea of what it looks like, the amount of coverage it has. It's a tinted moisturizer, so it is not going to be high coverage at all. And typically, not all the time, but typically with tinted moisturizer products, I do like to put them on as a moisturizer would be applied. So with my fingers, this does have a fragrance. It's not one that I find lingers by any means, but it is there. Now, very sheer to light coverage. I am going to put just a little bit more on my hand and use a brush to see if I can build this up. This is the Bobbi Brown Full Coverage Face Brush. And I'm just going to, on the areas where I would need more coverage, I'm just gonna kind of tap that in. And it gives a little bit more coverage, but not a ton. It's not what I would say is buildable to even the next level of coverage. It just amps it up a little bit when you do it this way. But again, I don't think when you're purchasing a tinted moisturizer product that you are expecting something with coverage. At least I don't think you should be, because that's not the point of a tinted moisturizer. So very like radiant. It claims to have a natural finish. I do find it gives a little bit more radiance than other natural finish products that I have, but it's not so dewy that I feel like I'm greasy or oily. So it's more of a radiant natural finish, in my opinion. So I got a sample, and it is their Phytocerans Eclat Eye Concealer with botanical extract. So I just got a little sample. I have not tried this yet. Now the sample I got is in number 1. I feel like I might be more suited to number 2, which from the swatches I've seen has more of a peachy, orangey corrector type of feel, but maybe this one does too. Yeah, this one does too. Okay, so that's good. So I'm not gonna take too much. And I'm just going to dot a little bit of this under the. Now the full size comes with a brush, like a concealer brush. I mean, don't ask me why I'm doing it with my finger. I am gonna go back in with the BK Beauty brush that I did the corrector with and kind of blend out the edges. Okay, so that shade actually does work well, especially with this tinted moisturizer shade. So you can see this is with that concealer and this is without. I do think it has a good amount of correcting within the concealer itself. Again, this is the first time I have used it, so I will put down in the description box how it wore throughout the day. But again, this is their like hero product. I don't know that I have ever seen someone talk about this that has not sung its praises and acted like it was the best concealer on the market. So I'm excited to try it and see if I agree. I'm gonna let that sink in before I set it, and I'm gonna go on to a brand new liquid bronzer. I have tried this a couple of times, but it just launched last week. I was able to get it in store, so I got it quicker than if obviously I would have ordered it online. And this is the Armani Luminous Silk Glow Liquid Bronzer. Now, one of my all-time favorite bronzers ever, I'm talking liquid, cream, powder, it doesn't matter, was the old Armani Liquid Summer Drops. I went through multiple bottles of that, and that tells how much I loved it. I used it in my kit. I used it on myself. I loved it so much. So of course it got discontinued. And that's been a while. I mean, it's been years since it's been discontinued. So when I saw that they were bringing this out, I got beyond excited. Now it has 3 or 4 shades. I got the shade number 100, which is medium. It's in the same type of pipette as the Liquid Summer. The main difference I have seen, and from what I can remember, because it's been a couple of years, is that this does not have as much radiance in the product, like when you first drop it out onto your hand, as the Liquid Summer did. Other than that, it's not that much different. I think if I had the two sitting right next to each other, I would probably still reach for the Liquid Summer and choose that one over this one, but this one is definitely not bad. Now, I put some on my hand. I'm gonna take my favorite cream / liquid bronzer brush, the Hourglass Vanish Foundation Brush, and I am going to put a little bit. Now, the good thing about these, and same with the Liquid Summer, is that they go a very long way. So this thing is going to last you forever, especially if it's not the only bronzer you use. So just a little bit on the brush, and then I'm just going to kind of stipple that in where I would put bronzer. It's a very pretty product. Okay, out of all of the liquid bronzers that I have tried in the past, this is still my favorite. Armani does it right. It's like no fuss. It blends in so beautifully. It's just, oh, I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. I'm so glad they brought some kind of rendition of this back. And I really like to kind of take it onto my cheeks, especially in the summer, because a lot of times I will just use bronzer as bronzer and blush. I'll kind of skip. I'm not going to today, but for a very fast look, I will. See what I mean when I'm saying it goes a long way? I still have quite a bit left, and I only use 2 drops. Definitely, if you couldn't tell, I love this product a lot. Now, another bronzer I'm going to show you but not use, because I want to let you know that I have it and have been using it. It's one of the brand new launches from Beauty Pie. They came out with their kind of bronze collection beginning of last week or the end of the week before. So of course I purchased most of it. And one of the products was the Awesome Bronze Gorgeous Sun-Kissed Bronzing Cream. So this immediately made me think of the Chanel bronzing cream, the Say cream bronzer. So I wanted to get it and try it out. This is in the shade Goldilocks, which is the, I believe, second darkest shade. And I have used this a couple of times. Now, when I compare it to the Chanel bronzer, I am simply comparing it to the original version. I have not tried the new one since they brought that out, so I can't speak to how those compare. But this one is a little bit more emollient than the original Chanel, but it's still really pretty on the skin. I'm still trying to figure out what brush I like best with it, because I know I just said that the Hourglass is my favorite, and it is, but this is really pigmented too, so I feel like I need something a little fluffier so that I don't overdo it. But I'm still trying this out, but I do really like it. And another product that I got from within that Beauty Pie collection is their new Super Cheek Cream Blush in Gleam Me Up. Now, I have not tried this yet, but you can see just when it catches the light. I've swatched it, but that's it. How it just has this really pretty iridescent, almost shimmer to it. So I'm gonna see how that looks on the cheeks, but I feel like for summer it's perfect. It's kind of that tan, peachy shade, but it can almost have a little bit of pink to it because we're gonna be doing a little pink on the eyes. So I feel like it's really gonna go with anything. So we'll see how it works. I'm going to use my Royal Lang Nickel BOM 185 brush, which is my favorite cream blush brush, and get the product onto the brush and tap that kind of on top of where I put the bronzer. Oh, that's pretty. Look at that. It's got a built-in, that kind of sheen that it has a built-in highlight in it. And I'm looking real up close to see. I do not see any like sparkle or glitter particles on the skin, which is important to me. I love a product with some sheen, but I really don't want glitter flaking off onto my skin. And I don't see that in this. I mean, this is like, I can see me using this a ton in the summer. Very, very, very pretty color. And I got a highlight out in case I would need it, but I don't think, and we'll see what it looks like once I set it, but I don't think I'm gonna need a highlight. I went ahead and set my under eyes with my Ilia powder. And now I'm gonna go on to setting my face. Now this has a really pretty glow. It's a little too much of a glow for me to wear all by itself. I really am a fan of setting the face. And I got sent the brand new Lawless Perfecting Powder, talc-free skin smoothing powder. So they sent me 2 shades, and I appreciate this because one is darker than the other, and I believe based on the brush that they sent that this is kind of meant to be used under the eyes as well as on the skin. Today I'm just using it on the full face, but this is the shade Light right here, and then this is Light Medium. So you can definitely see the Light Medium has a little bit of a darker hue to it than the light. I like having these options because sometimes I use a product or my skin is looking a little lighter than I want it to or a little darker than I want it to, and using a powder like this that has a little bit of coverage to it is going to help rectify that situation without having to take my entire face of foundation off. So today I probably could use either one, but I'm going to be really extra and mix them. They do come with a little puff underneath because they are meant to either set your foundation and existing base product or use on its own. And I'm going to tell you, I have used them on their own and I love them. They are not as high coverage as some of my other powder foundations, but they still provide enough coverage for me, and I find them to be really pretty on the skin. They're not powdery. They bring on this really nice natural radiance throughout the day versus getting more matte and cakey looking. So I really enjoy these powders. The brush that they sent with it is the multi-use powder brush. So it has a big fluffy brush on the side and then something for more detailed or under eye setting. So you know what? I'm just going to use one. I'm going to use Light. Okay, so you can see that automatically brought down some of that sheen. However, throughout the day and possibly even as we go along with this makeup look, that sheen is going to come back, and the more natural luminosity from the products underneath or from just your skin, if you choose to use this by itself, is going to show through more. Now let's go to the eyes, and I am going to use the third product that I got from the Beauty Pie collection that I ordered, and that is their new eyeshadow quad. And this is in the shade, I don't know, it just says Deluxe Eyeshadow Quad. I will put it on the screen. Very, very, very pretty though. This is, to me, reminiscent a little bit of Pillow Talk. This shade right here is definitely a dark brown, whereas the Pillow Talk is more of a like dusty pinky brown and not as dark. But other than that, it's very reminiscent of that quad to me. Used it before, got compliments on my makeup. This is actually the quad that I wore to the Taylor Swift concert. I had it on look, by the time she went on, because we were there Sunday night and it rained and she had like a 4-hour delay. So by the time she went on, I'd had this on for over 12 hours. I got home at 2 o'clock in the morning, 3 o'clock in the morning. I got home in the middle of the night and it was still going strong. So I'm going to start out with this matte pinky shade on a Refer 27. Put that in the crease. I really like these colors all year round, but especially in the spring and summer. And especially on blue eyes, because I just feel like it makes them pop. Then I'm going to take my beloved Beauty Counter Lid Glow Cream Shadow in Aura. I don't know if you can tell, but I have more than halfway used this, and it will be repurchased. It's one of my favorite kind of cream lid shades to put under other shades. It is not super shimmery, as you're going to see, But there's something about the formula that really helps a product adhere to the eye, pop, probably last longer. And while it's definitely not something that is a must-have, it's just something that I have found I do more often than not, and I really enjoy the effects of it. And then I'm gonna take this really pretty pinky color, which this color right here is a little bit more metallic than the champagne shade. And I'm gonna use it with a brush first, which if you didn't want it to be as metallic, I would just use a brush. But if you did want that extra pop, you can use your finger and really press it in. And that's what's gonna give you that kind of like gold flake metallic look, which I like. And then I'm gonna take the dark brown shade with my favorite Rephr 29 brush and use that as an eyeliner. And then to finish it off, take a little bit of that matte pink shade and sweep that under the eye. Now I'm gonna do mascara off camera, but I am gonna talk about it because it is new. I know I have done quite a few sponsored videos with Beauty Pie in the past. This is not one of them, but it shows that I truly am a consumer and a customer with them first, because I also purchased the Beauty Pie Wrap Star Tubing Mascara. So this is their newest mascara. I love their Uber Volume mascara. I've talked about that a lot in the past, but I also really, really love a tubing mascara. It's all I will use in my kit. So I wanted to try this one because it is affordable, and I wanted to see if I like it so that I will then purchase some more for my kit. But that's what I'm gonna be using. I will show you how it looks after I apply it. And then we will kind of go back and see, do I feel like I need to warm my skin up a little bit more, add a little bit more bronzer? How do I feel like everything's looking? And then we'll finish off with lips and fragrance. Okay, so this is 2 coats of that mascara. I will show you the wand because it is different than the Uber Volume. It is not as big and fluffy, and it does have kind of like this, almost like a spiral pattern on it, which does help get in between the lashes. It is not as volumizing as the Uber Volume, but I do enjoy it, and it definitely does not budge through water. Again, this is what I wore to the concert. We looked like some drowned rats by the time the night was over. I was sweating. It was nasty, and my mascara had not gone anywhere. So I said I was gonna look back on my complexion and see if I felt like I needed to add anything. I don't really, typically I like to be a little more bronze than this. I feel like maybe that Lawless powder covered up some of it. So I'm just gonna take whatever was left on this brush and use that. But I still think that blush is coming through. I definitely don't need another highlight. It's really pretty. I'm liking these products together. Let's take the hair down and do lips and fragrance. For lips, I have 2 new ones. Not quite sure what I'm gonna use yet. When I purchased the Armani liquid bronzer, I also got talked into purchasing this Armani lip. This is I think their Lip Maestro in the shade 109, which I believe is tan. Now, this is a matte lip. I do not like a matte lip. I bought this with every intention of adding something on top, but this is the shade. It is tan. In fact, it looks even more brown on the hand than it does in the tube. I don't think I'm gonna use this today because I'm just not feeling like that much color on the lips. Also got with my Sisley order the new, I think they're new, Rouge Shine lipsticks. These are refillable. You can pop this out and just buy the refills. Really pretty gold and white zebra packaging. And of course I got sheer nude, which I will swatch it and you're gonna be able to see that it is in fact a sheer nude color. Right up my alley. Lots and lots of shine. Definitely more on a little bit of a balm with color side of things than a lipstick. It's not gonna really show up any kind of color on my lips, but that's okay because that's my preferred look if you haven't been able to tell. And the last thing we're going to talk about is fragrance. Now, if you watched my live with Abby, my last video that I put up, you will have already heard about this fragrance. But if you didn't, I am talking about the very first really green fragrance that I immediately have fallen in love with. And this is by the brand By Rosie Jane. I got a sample of this in one of my Sephora orders during the sale. and I immediately purchased the full bottle. So this came in after my haul video, but this is included in things that I got in the sale. And this is Lila Lou. This was created by the founder of Rosie Jane as her signature scent. It's named after her daughter, Lila Lou. She created this when she was a makeup artist, and I wanted to wear something that was soft and casual and made me feel like I had 8 hours of sleep and a long shower. I just now read that for the first time, and I cannot explain this fragrance better than what she just said. And as a makeup artist myself, I can appreciate that she wanted to create something that she did not have to feel self-conscious about wearing in front of clients, because you never want to wear something that's overpowering. You just want to feel clean and fresh. And it is inspired by lazy mornings in the bed and fields of flower. It contained notes of pear, jasmine, and freshly cut grass, and feels like your favorite pair of blue jeans and a white tee. Sexy, casual, and everyday. Perfect, perfect description. This is, oh my word. On me, this smells, all I get is fresh cut grass and pear. But it's not even like necessarily a fresh pear. It's kind of like the canned pears that I love so much that my Nana used to let me like eat the juice from the canned pears with a spoon. Y'all, don't knock it till you try it, okay? But it's not an artificial fragrance. Oh, it is so beautiful. I cannot explain to you how much I love this scent. So much that I didn't even question it when I sprayed it for the first time out of that sample. I really thought I was not going to like it. It was kind of one of those, I'm just going to put the sample because nothing else is intriguing me into my cart kind of thing. Even if you don't like a green fragrance, do not let that keep you from trying this fragrance. And it lasts forever on my skin. And by Rosie Jane is one of those more like natural brands. Now, I don't quite know what that means, to be honest. Even if they don't use alcohol in their products, they're still using fragrance ingredients. So I don't really know that, but I do know they market themselves that way. To me, is not what made me want to get this. The scent is. And it makes me want to try the rest of her line. I did get a travel spray of Dulce vanilla ice cream in a bottle. So good. Very, very, very different from Lila Lou, which I appreciate because I definitely don't want two of the same fragrance. But Lila Lou, y'all, I'm going to stop talking about it because I probably talk nonstop on my live about it too. That's it. That is the finished look using all of my new to me products. I will have everything listed and linked down below per usual. I do use affiliate links, so if you choose to use them to support my channel, I greatly appreciate it. Let me know if you have any questions. Thank y'all so much for watching. Be sure and like and subscribe before you leave so you don't miss out on any future videos. And I hope you all go out and have a very blessed day.